Good evening, everybody.
What it do, baby?
You know what I'm saying? Welcome to the Panther Sports Zone. I'm your host, Cameron Swan.
I'm Cyril Neville.
And I'm Zachary Gooden.
And today we'll be covering the Panther Sports basketball team. Now, last night we played Cal, and it was a disappointing loss, but it's
a lot of hope.
It's okay. You know what I'm saying? It's the beginning of the season, so it's okay. The score was 54-50, but it's only 4 points, so it's okay. We had like a huge second half. Can't even complain about that. But what y'all see that we can improve on?
It's the fact that we're able to compete with a top caliber team. Even though the headlines did say they were a bit sloppy, it's still like we're in a 4-point game against the D1 school. So it's just like you see the adjustments that we're making. You see that we're climbing up. So shouts out to them for that.
I think it's a strong start. If we continue to make ourselves, work against these better teams, these bigger schools, we'll be ready when SWAC play comes around, and then we'll be able to make a push to win the SWAC again. So I think it's a good thing, especially they only lost by 4, regardless of if they played sloppy or not. But I think they continue to do that, they'll be fine.
Like you said, we still gonna be going to Dubs. Now, we're gonna move on to the NBA. So I know y'all saw the game last night. Y'all saw my boy Luka. Y'all saw my Dallas Mavericks. You seen that 40-point? You seen that 40-point triple dub. You see how he's in the category with LeBron, the only 20-year-old to do a 40-point triple dub.
You a Mavs fan?
Till I die. Today I die.
That's the first time I heard you say the Mavs, bro.
Man,
first time.
No, don't try to play me now. Don't try to play me from the cameras now. Yes, I've been repping the Mavs.
Yeah, he
keep
like
that same energy the whole year.
Oh, trust me. I was repping hard for
them
since the championship. Before it even did. But back to that, the score was 110-117 against the San Antonio Spurs, and he put out a great game. It wasn't just him; the entire team
put out a great game from everybody.
Yes,
it was a full game. I think Luka, he's making a case early, for early MVP votes. If he continues this start, he's going to be in the conversation for even more great things, like you mentioned. He's one of the few people since LeBron James to be able to one of the youngest also. I think he's like the second youngest behind LeBron James to do that. And you mentioned it before we even got on the show, how he was doing stuff like how LeBron his second year in the league started. So, he continued to do that. He's going to be great.
Yeah, it's just crazy how the buildup is for Luka, because when he was first coming out, it was like, who is this guy, this European kid coming out of nowhere? And they were already thinking, how Porzingis was coming out, and then people were questioning that. And then when the Knicks drafted him, it was just like, what are y'all doing? And then look how KP's worked out.
They coming up, man.
I mean, you got to look into it. Like, you got to look at his resume. He not only at that, but y'all got to realize he won the MVP, the EuroLeague MVP at like 17, 18 years old.
Playing against grown men.
Playing against grown men.
And he got a year also, didn't he?
Exactly. So it's like looking to that, how he plays, like, he's like basically already destined for greatness. Like, he's like a generation talent, in my opinion. Like, like a one of a kind talent. So back and looking from that the Hawks trade back to the draft night, I feel like both teams won, but the Mavs with Luka, that's that
and
right
they
there.
have a supporting cast around them.
Exactly. Now they could get some more pieces to. They need a third scorer. They need a third scorer off top, because Porzingis and Doncic, they can't do it by themselves. Right. So of course they're gonna need somebody else, but it's still early in the season.
You know who'd be perfect for them? Jamal Crawford, coming off the bench, six man. He can still hoop.
He needs to be. If Melo can come back, he can come back.
Piece.
If Melo can come back, he can come back.
They don't have that veteran or that six man besides like Jalen Brunson. He's a nice point guard, but he's not gonna get you consistent buckets coming off the bench and firing the bench up.
A walking bucket.
Yes. So I feel like for the Mavs, I feel like that'd be like the perfect fit for them. But we'll see what happens with Crawford's career.
It's the early season. Now moving on, we're gonna talk about the Houston Rockets 8-game winning streak. Boys balling. Them boys are balling. Now, them beating Portland, I'm not even gonna lie. Like I said before, James Harden can't keep just throwing up a lot of shots, but he proved me wrong last night.
He was shooting pretty efficient.
Like I said,
I'm still kind of nervous too. If he takes a lot of shots, then Russ is gonna turn around and take a lot of shots. If they both taking a lot of shots and they're not making them, then that's when they'll be in Houston, and then in trouble. But they stay strong, and their defense, if it needs to pick up, I think they gave up, what was it, like one something. It was a high scoring game, but once they get all that together, they'll be fine.
See, but with Houston, I already know they're at least going to win 50 to 60 games. So I really don't care what they're going to do during the regular season. No, the way they playing right now.
Maybe 49, 53, because, you know, there's
but you know, during the regular season, Harden's going to get buckets, and they're going to hoop.
But the one thing I say about that is that Harden, he's already top tier, like arguably like one of the best regular season players. The one thing that always kill him in the playoffs is that he do ISO so much that other teams they'll literally trap him.
That's not on him though.
But no, this is where things starting to fall apart. If he keep on doing ISO to what the whole team depends on him to score, other players they won't get opportunities. They could just like looking right,
But that's more
like a year before his
more of an indictment on the coach than Harden though.
Yeah, but you got to think about it. Ever since they got D'Antoni, he elevate his game. But if you're gonna elevate, you got to elevate in both areas. You can't just focus on Harden.
An ISO coach. He was either shoot the three or.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. It should be more.
Yeah, but you can't keep doing the whole time because you got other players who gonna need that ball as well. If you think about it, every player on there who's doing the ISO ball, it's gonna keep them in the playoffs.
I feel like the system works. It's just when it comes to playoff time, just dial it back a little bit.
They gonna have to
just be able. Have set plays.
They gonna have to get that.
I think it's a lot harder to dial back than you coming from an ISO ball, playing that all regular season, than going to, I don't know, a more conventional team offense. Team offense during the playoffs because they've been running that ISO ball so much. They try and get in some sets and plays, and you don't know what you're gonna do because you don't know who's gonna keep the ball. You don't know if Russ is gonna be ball dominant. You don't know if Harden's gonna be ball dominant, and they both are. They ball dominant players. They need the ball. So that's what always was my question when it came to the Houston Rockets when they made the move for Russell Westbrook. Who's going to be the one to bring the ball up the floor. And
they doing a good job both distributing and sharing the ball. But I'm saying the playoffs, something's going to change as far as like.
I agree.
And when you come to defense, we can't just wait till the second half of the season to get our defense ready. They're going to have to start now because the second half, that's when things start growing up because you start having transactions with different players. You start having the playoffs getting ready after the All-Star break. So we're gonna have start them going now because that's when things start getting crunch time.
And then you mentioned how they'll key in on players. If they could take Russ and James away from their ISO ball, if they're missing shots, what do you do then? Who do you turn to? Austin Rivers isn't always a consistent scorer.
So would y'all say this is championship or bust for the Rockets again? Okay.
They can do something, but they have to fix their defense first. If they want to get somewhere to go against the Clippers or Lakers in the West, in my opinion. So, in that, they still good, but they can't just be a regular season team. So, but coming back from the break, we're going to talk about Antonio Brown's apology and what it means to the NFL and the Patriots.
Because of you, I felt hopeless.
Because you told me you didn't like my voice, I started to not like it either.
I know it was a joke, but it still hurt me.
Because you said rude things about my work, I started to question my own voice.
Because of your negative comments online, I've almost quit doing the one thing that makes me happiest in life.
Because you shared something about me that was private, I felt embarrassed.
Because you said hi to me on the first day of school, I felt included and I knew that I was going to be okay.
Because of you, I felt wanted and not alone in this world.
Because of you sharing your story with me, I feel comfortable sharing my own.
Because you were there for me, I feel beautiful.
Because you were there when I was coming out, you helped me regain my confidence.
I'm still here today because of you.
Welcome back to Panther Sports Zone. So now we'll be talking about Antonio Brown, his apology to the Patriots and to the NFL. So what are y'all opinions on that?
Yeah, I'm going to let you go first on that one. I'm going to let you.
Antonio Brown, it's been an interesting change of events, from going back to when he left Pittsburgh to going to Oakland, and we thought it was a good fit, him being in Oakland with Derek Carr, they had a run game, they just got Josh Jacobs. And, it seemed like it was going to be well. Then, stuff went south. He forced his way out. That started the problem with the league. it made a problem that they needed to address. And then the Patriots, you think it becomes all cool. The next thing you know, he got these sexual assault allegations, and he gets cut 10 days after being on the team. I think a lot of the problems, Antonio Brown, he started himself. I think if he would have just stayed put in Oakland and did what he had to do, and he would have been fine.
Yeah, all this is just based upon himself. Like, he put everything on himself, like, for no reason. Like, all you had to do was just go to the Raiders, just be quiet, play football, get your contract, get your money, and just end the season. But now you just look like a lunatic running back and forth from saying, you know, F the NFL to, I'm sorry, I want to come back. Then you got all these allegations coming up on you. You threw a couch off a balcony and almost hit somebody.
I didn't even see that.
Yeah,
I think Landon's cool.
Yeah, so
he threw it.
For me, I feel like with AB, it's just something's mentally just a little off with him.
There. Like, he has
undeniable
talent.
See, in my opinion, and correct me if I'm wrong, Antonio Brown, he reminds me of how you have that annoying ex in the family union that just, you know what I'm saying, you just gotta stay away from.
They keep mentioning it for no reason.
Yes, they have your name in their mouth 24/7, 25/8, 365, 52 weeks a year. Like they won't leave you alone. Like nothing.
And then he brought up Robert Kraft too.
But my thing on that is that he making it harder for black athletes, in my opinion. Because it's already hard enough that most of the NFL owners are like looking towards us in the wrong way. So you're doing it, it's like you letting your ego get aside, basically. You had the money. You're a top 10 receiver in the league.
I think he had, when he got to Oakland, it was like
it was guaranteed
up to like $100 million.
Guaranteed. That's what I'm saying. Yeah. Like you have that alone, you have money already saved up from Pittsburgh, and they give you big contracts. You put yourself wrong being an undersized receiver, and you had all these accolades. Okay, cool. Keep that same energy going on. Don't start switching up because things not going your way.
I just feel like now it's already over. Your character's out the bag. You've already displayed like actions that you only care about yourself, and you have no accountability for yourself. And with that, you can't play in the NFL.
But no, my thing on that as well his character is that I feel like in our generation now, social media become like a bad cause for this. Because back then when they had problems, they'll go face to face with it. They'll talk about it or like vent to it.
Yeah, that's team-related stuff. Yeah.
Nowadays you got because nowadays you got Twitter fingers. You got everything. They just go on social media and say whatever. Then they'll go back, look back and like I should never said that. Okay, that's just like you going to your interview and you saying some stuff back in the past. And they could bring it back up in your face. Now you looking dumb. They think you can't get back to your job. You can't get back your.
But I think it's also like that's part of who AB has always been. You know, Shannon Sharp, he said it himself. He was like, money doesn't change you. I mean, it doesn't define you. It doesn't define you, but it makes you more of what you already were.
Yeah.
So. And Antonio Brown, he was having problems in Pittsburgh on his way out. Ben Roethlisberger was having problems with him. He was having problems with Mike Tomlin every now and then. So when he got money, it just got worse and worse. You see, when he first got into the league, he wasn't making any money. He was barely doing anything. He was working. He was a 6th round, maybe even 7th round pick, excuse me if I'm wrong. And he just worked and grinded himself up to that position. Then he got the money, and it's just like you see all the hoopla.
It's just funny how Ryan Clark came out and said, if y'all give him this money,
he said it.
He's gonna turn out a monster.
I think
and then people just full out attacked him. And then now that it's happened, it's just like
I told you,
it's crazy.
That's why I say making most African American athletes look bad with the money, but we'll say that for another time. Now moving on, we're gonna talk about how the Chiefs, their clutch win against the Chargers last night. Do you still see them being like AFC contenders?
Contenders, as far as making the playoffs? Yes, but right now, winning it, no, because I still think that defense is very suspect. Phillip Rivers helped them a lot. He had 4 interceptions, and, I mean, that's what made the game. You know, they were getting ready to drive and trying to make this to tie the game up and take the lead, but Phillip Rivers being Phillip Rivers, he's a gunslinger, so he'll make good plays and he'll make bad plays, and he made a lot of bad plays last night.
Yeah, I'm gonna be honest. After this past game, yeah, the Chiefs are my AFC Championship game. They won't. I don't think they'll win there.
They'll win the West.
My thing on that is that they're playing very sloppy right now. They had a career low of I think total yards, offensive yards in the first half, and
Patrick Mahomes was throwing it.
That's not Patrick Mahomes boy. He's not playing like Patrick Mahomes boy right now.
Patrick Mahomes.
something, because he need a roof over their head right now because right now they not playing like how they used to play. Then on top of that, injuries are starting to hurt them right now. We had like a lot of players come out with injuries and during the game. So
well, I feel like if you lean more towards like Patrick Mahomes the whole game, you're not gonna win. Like you need to have a consistent running game. Because if you look at the top 5 teams in the NFL, each of them average a good amount of rushes per game. Yeah. So it's like you need to be able to have a consistent like rush attack.
And you can't expect.
And then you can't expect like, especially with the defense they have, like you need to be able to control time of possession, be able to keep Patrick on the field,
and that's
and
like
keep it.
Made
yes.
The Patriots so good. Like they were always they might not have the best running game, but they were able to control the clock. You know, they had their short passes was their running game when they couldn't run with James White or whoever.
Nah, so I don't think they're gonna go anywhere AC because you got teams like the Ravens. You have teams and that
Texans.
Like the Ravens, Texans.
Even the Bills.
And that's
I think if they play the Bills or somebody like that, I think they make the playoffs.
Because
the Bills don't turn the ball over.
That's the crazy part. The Bills, and this is the one thing about it. Like the Bills are just like the Patriots in that scenario. They have no big name receivers whatsoever, but they make something out of nothing. The Chiefs have a big name tight end, and they have you have one of the fastest receivers out there.
It's like after they lost to I think was it Houston? They lost to Houston and just went downhill from there. And when he got hurt, you know, they stayed. They won 3 straight. I
feel like they depend on him too much to where they feel
that's
like
what I was saying.
They want to depend on themselves.
They need to invest some money in that defense, though. That's for sure.
But I feel like they're gonna get together. I hope so, because
it was just the fact that you was in a close game with the Chargers with Phillip Rivers that threw 4 interceptions, and you still was in a close game.
We'll come back from this break. We're gonna talk about Colin Kaepernick and the issue that's going on with his practice.
Hey, this is Cheryl Lee Ralph, and I'm really, really happy to be a part of this project because you see, HBCUs, historically black colleges and universities are very, very important. See, the way I see it, all of this magic that I see right here on this campus, this is about as close as 40 acres and a mule that some of us are going to get. And I tend to hold on to the ones that I see right now.
Camera goes in front of you and you got to transform.
And you have to relate. You have to be relatable. Yeah. That's the only reason it works in the Marvel Cinematic Universe and in Mudbound. You know, it's all about the relatability.
Exactly.
And welcome back to Panther Sports Zone. Welcome back. Now today we're going to be talking about Colin Kaepernick and the issue, the practice he had with the NFL owners. How y'all feel about that?
With that situation, a lot of facts were just thrown out there. You had the NFL coming to him out of nowhere. The owners of the NFL didn't even know that they were going to hold the satellite camp for him. So it was just the fact that they came out of nowhere with this proposition for him that, hey, do this, sign the waivers, and just abide by whatever it is. Now, from Colin's standpoint, I would understand that you wouldn't,
you wouldn't trust it.
Yeah, you're not gonna trust it because they just came out of nowhere with this information for you, and then they have it at their own site, their own little media crew, everything, and they telling you you can't bring anybody essentially. So it's just like, at that point you have to pick and choose. Like, do you want to play in the NFL still, or do you just want to abide by what you stand for and then what you brought up, the original stance was for. So it's like, it's really a hard situation. You have to come with all the facts. You have to know both sides. It's just a sticky situation.
Now, how I look into that, I'm very 50-50 on this. And when I say that, is that, first of all, I'm going to 150 part on this. So, when they saying Kaepernick can't bring anybody, the reason why I could feel for that is because they can do anything to his film. They can do anything to his practice. For example, saying like he practicing, they can literally edit his footage, cut it, look like all his stuff is like going real bad. And he already have the reputation of what happened with him last time he played when he was going 1-10 before he got cut. So that's for the kneeling thing. So it's like they putting 2 in 1. Basically, they killing 2 birds with 1 stone. You already started 1-10 with the 49ers and they cut you. Then you start doing the kneeling process. So doing both right there is already gonna make a bad like reputation on how you being viewed as an NFL quarterback.
Black NFL quarterback.
Exactly, black NFL quarterback at that. Now, me being for it, in my opinion, like you said, if you want the job, you gotta get it. So if you really want the job, I'm sorry, but some things you're gonna have to like put aside. But I feel like I understand when he comes from the ground, like you're still, you know what I'm saying, going off for everything that's going on in America, but you know what I'm saying, at the end of the day, it's a business. And I feel like in type of business, they don't like the way, in my opinion as well, you can't wear your feelings on your sleeve. So being viewed wearing your feelings on your sleeve can't do nothing. Like for example, like Dallas Cowboys owner, Jerry Jones, he don't allow the Cowboys at all. They can't kneel.
Or they'll be cut.
And they'll be cut. So if he want to get picked up, the Cowboys already out the option right there because he said, oh no, he's still on the same thing. So you got different teams who already like looking like, oh nah. So you went from 32 down to 8, and they still can do anything with the footage. So it's like, in my opinion, that was like a lose-lose because even if you got recorded yourself, like still doing, they can still cut your footage.
I think it's a really sticky situation, and I've always, since the issue came out, I thought it was a 50-50 situation. But when I look at it and I listen to people talk, listening to Stephen A. and stuff, we can all agree, talent-wise, Colin Kaepernick should be on somebody's team. And if you really look at it, he could be starting on some of these teams. The talent's not a problem. We've seen by the video footage that he could throw a deep ball the same way as he was 3 years ago. I have to agree with what Stephen A. was saying. You know, do you want to be a football player or do you want to be a martyr? You know, there's the NFL is 70% black, and there are millions of players that wanted the opportunity just to get a workout, to be on a practice squad. And you have the opportunity to be on a team and potentially be signed on an NFL team within 2 weeks. And you choose last minute to make the decision to move to a high school and have your own people to throw to. And, you know, like people up here at Prairie View, they would love the opportunity just to catch passes or throw the ball or try out. I mean, just to get the opportunity to try. And Colin Kaepernick just threw it all out. Now, do I hope that he gets a team, gets the opportunity to show what he can do and still be the symbol and message that he is? Yes, but like you said, it's a business. And sometimes, like Stephen A. said, sometimes you have to do things their way just to get into the door. And then once you get into the door, you can make a change. Because you can't make a change if you're sitting on the outside.
That was my only problem with what Colin did over the weekend. It was just, you didn't have to call out the NFL. Like, you're already in a tough position already. And if you really want the job, you're not going to come out and say those things.
Yeah, you should have just
So it's just like, not even at that, not that, it's just like, you should have had your lawyers ready already for that situation. You should have known what you was getting into. You already know the NFL is already like you never know what they're going to do.
Shaky.
So it's just like, you should already prepare for those things. So for you to just come out and just come at them like that, and you already know the owners are just like,
and I think
they're already in the mindset of we don't need you.
But,
so
and like in this scenario, basically what I'm saying is like, and I hate to compare it, but he's basically pulling like Antonio Brown, but in like a positive way.
Yeah.
Because he's been very outspoken, but it's still harming you in the negative trait. And a part of that is like you said, it's so many athletes who want to be in the position he is, and it's athletes in the NFL right now who was with him and kind of like put like a fake it.
Some people lost their careers over it.
But it's not even that. It's the fact that they put like a fake it till you make it, like a sellout type of scenario. Right. Eric Reed did the same thing with Carolina. Michael Ben doing that with the Cowboys. It was times where they took a kneel, but they stopped doing it just to keep their NFL jobs.
Like Michael Bennett.
Yeah. So you had opportunities. You had times where people called them sellouts because they stopped doing that, but they want their job back. So it's like, were they faking the whole time, or were they just really doing it?
And that's the NFL.
And I feel like he don't want to do that because he don't want to be labeled as a sellout, basically. And that's why a lot of people was kind of going off against Jay-Z when he was John Gray to get an NFL team. Because they thought, are you really being a sellout or not? You were partying with him or not?
Yeah, let me
but
take
he
a
ain't have to
second
go through all that.
Like, we need to take a second to appreciate what Jay-Z did. Because Jay-Z had a big part in trying to set up this thing, like with the Falcons, the facility, everything. He had a big part in doing that. And I think Colin Kaepernick making the change last minute after Jay-Z came out on a limb for him, it's a bad look. It's a real bad look.
I agree. I highly agree, but we're going to say that for another day. This is all for Panther Sports Zone. I'm your host, Cameron Swan.
I'm Cyril Neville.
I'm Zachary Gooden.
And we're signing out.